Hello, I'm S. James Meyer. I've long been conflicted by this whole Christ the King business. It perplexes me a bit. It strikes me as the most ironic of all feast days. If you read the Gospels and you know anything about Jesus at all, you kind of have this uneasy feeling that the idea of making him into a king, of crowning him with many crowns and sitting him high upon a throne, it just seems to go against everything that he was all about. But as I was reading the famous Matthew 25 gospel, the whatsoever you do gospel, for which our organization is so aptly named, I saw a different light shine on this idea of Christ as king. Whatever you do or don't do is about action and priorities. It's not about Christ as a noun. It's about Christ as a movement, an action which we, as the body of Christ, participate in. The question to which the Feast of Christ the King demands an answer is this: what action governs my life? Asked differently, what energy rules my mind, my heart, and my spirit? If we let Christ be more verb than noun in our lives, more movement than object, well, it changes everything. When the energy of Christ rules our minds, our thoughts become so much more focused on possibility than on problems. We look upon the hungry, the thirsty, the immigrant, and the ill not as problems to be solved, but as faces of God to be encountered and embraced. Our thoughts become so much less focused on ourselves and so much more focused on others. And that, I gotta tell you, that makes so much of our stress and anxiety melt away. When the energy of Christ rules our hearts, we are moved by an authentic compassion for others, rather than by concern for self. Sometimes it catches us by surprise. Parents understand this. They feel what their children feel when a child is hurting because she's being bullied or marginalized at school. Parents take on that emotion. Their tears are our tears. We are moved by compassion. When the energy of Christ rules our hearts, we feel that way about all who are hurting, who are hungry, who are lonely. Their pain is our pain, and their joy is our joy too. And when the energy of Christ rules our spirits, we become pie-eyed optimists, and we believe in hope. We have faith and love. Our spirits are undaunted by the negativity, the anger, and the darkness that dominates so much of the world around us. Instead, when the energy of Christ rules our spirits, we have the audacity to be beacons of light, bringing hope where there is despair and joy where there is sorrow, mercy where there is injury, and bringing love where there is hatred. Ultimately, this idea of Christ as King calls us to be careful not to objectify Christ as some high and mighty golden prince on a throne, but rather to raise up the sacred dignity of the very least among us, because after all, as Christians, we have minds ruled by possibility, hearts ruled by compassion, and spirits ruled by faith and hope. Have a joy-filled week. Journey well and pray always. Peace.